Hello, welcome back to Blender City Live. In this episode, I want to show you how to use Eyek add-on for Blender to project dreams into the monkey head. Okay, it's exactly just what you see here. Literally, we're gonna project dream textures into the monkey head. All right. So this add-on is cool. You can actually donate to Digitalism, but this add-on was actually made open source around a year ago. So let's just give this a try inside Blender. I'm switching to my Mac Intel because this one doesn't work on Mac M1. Okay, so you basically download the add-on and install it. It should work right away if you are using Mac Intel or Windows. So let me show you how this actually works. Let's create just a monkey head because we're gonna project dreams into the monkey head. What dreams? We're gonna create textures of some sort. I just tap Control 2 and then we're gonna switch to smooth. Save this monkey dream. Okay, we don't have camera yet, but I will show you how this add-on works. This add-on resides here on this tab. By default, it's 512 by 512 resolutions. You can increase this as the final textures. The output's gonna be texture PNG. We can set it to desktop. The way this works, if you want to use the camera projection mapping, Shift A, create camera, and then we're gonna go inside the camera, view, align active camera to view. Okay. For simplicity, I'm just gonna set this to 512 by 512. The size of like a low resolution dream. And if you want, okay, we need to set up background image for the camera. I'm just gonna create add image. I'm gonna open up a texture. It's a texture I grabbed earlier. It's like a cyberpunk kind of texture created using AI. And now that we have image background image of the camera, we simply select Suzanne and select the camera. Okay, select Suzanne, shift select the camera, and then paint. Once you do that, what's happening in the background is that you will have the textures on the desktop. So it's the texture is already being projected. So let me do that again. Oops. Let's go inside the camera. Just tap on this icon over here, and we're gonna go to view, camera to view, and now I can rotate Suzanne. Select from different angle. We're gonna project exactly that background image. Once again, select Suzanne, select the camera, go to Eyek add-on, tab, and then hit paint. Oh, I override the same texture. So let me close this for now. Let's see. Better to do it like this. So from this angle, remember this angle of the camera, I can actually keyframe the camera so I can remember the position of the camera. Keyframe, location, rotation, scale. Select different angle. With the camera still selected, keyframe again. So we have two positions of the camera. I will select Suzanne now, select the camera, paint. It's gonna paint and save it on the desktop, right? That's one camera projection. I changed the name now and switch to different angle, hit paint again. We don't see the texture on Suzanne yet, so I will go out of the camera now. Select Suzanne. It doesn't have material by default. Create new material. Switch to full screen. Go to under image editor. Oh, under material. Shadow editor. Image. Let's open up our texture. Plug this in. switch to texture. Now we can see the projected texture, which is pretty cool. It's 512 by 512, the resolutions. You can increase that. You can also mix the second texture, which we just projected, save it as texture 1. And we're gonna use mix RGB or combine. Oh, this is the latest Blender, right? They use a different name. All right, it should be the one. So we can combine and then use the alpha as the vector and then plug this in. And this alpha. Okay, I'm using 3.4 alpha, maybe. Yeah, I should use. Okay, this one works. So we are mixing the two texture that's being projected into one. So we have this result. There is actually another way to do this, like much simpler. Let's save this. Let's remove the material from Suzanne. We don't need the camera for now, just gonna hide it. So I will switch to this mode. So I remember I said dream because I want to use some kind of dream texture. I will use Mage space actually, and then I will use Lexica art. You're gonna find some AR art, cyberpunk, complex, detailed, mechanical. So it's really random wordings, and I'm gonna try to find the one that I can simply project. Like I quite like this, for example, and so I just gonna save it to the desktop. This is someone else prompt, but you can just copy the prompt and you switch to this Mage and just copy paste it. This is another website that's dealing with AI Dream. You can use anything that you like. Like, okay, see it's creating something for you. You can download it. You can enhance it. Yeah, I will actually just use this. I will project this into Suzanne. The way I will do it in the very cool kind of way. Okay, you need to have Blender, and you need to have the Finder. And we have this texture. Did I save it? I save it under download. I'm just gonna drag and drop it. Okay, I drag and drop it twice. But we have, I believe we have, okay, we have empty here. Just gonna drag and drop it again. So you can have multiple texture. Okay, the way we're gonna do this now, we have these multiple empties objects with image, right? We're gonna select this empty, 1, 2, 3, using shift, and the last one is gonna be Suzanne. With those selected, we just paint it. And if we switch to desktop, we magically have our texture. Yeah, this is actually really cool, really cool. This is the feature that should come with Blender. We're gonna have 5 projections, but we can set this up using geometry nodes. Maybe that's gonna be the next video. But anyway, select all this empty and select Suzanne the last. Select this, select all, and then command select, and then just paint. Before, actually, I forgot. Maybe have a higher resolutions. 1024 by 1024. should be good. So select all the empty, select Suzanne the last, and just paint it. Now it takes a little bit longer, but now select Suzanne, create new material. Hopefully this works. Shader editor. In ideally, we can just project our dream in 3D, right? Okay, this seems to be working. It's a little bit crazy and random. Maybe because the texture that we have is like 512 by 512, and then some of them is like too large. This is good for decal kind of projection. So like I say, ideally, if we, for example, use like a dream texture add-on connected to Dream Studio, we just want to project the dreams from different angle, and each one of them is going to correspond to Suzanne from different angle, and somehow it's just gonna we're just gonna end up with Suzanne with all this mechanical texture details, right? So I just reproject it all. This time, I have a feeling this is possible. Yeah, we have the alpha happening there because we don't have a texture that's covering that area. Remember, we need to cover every areas, and then it's gonna try to project it from all these different angles of the empty. Now Suzanne is totally covered with dreams, and then now let's do this again. It's gonna save it into texture 2. I could perhaps increase this even further, like 2048 by 2048. It's a 2K texture. It might take a while. I kind of wish this add-on actually works with Mac M1 somehow, but currently it's only working on this version of Mac Intel. Now you can see, okay, based on just that, it's projecting all the empties. Now we end up with this. We have Suzanne with all this projected dream based on the empty. Pretty cool, right? So this is just an idea. Maybe you can try doing this yourself. Try projecting maybe like your own texture and use a different camera angles, and then just project them all into Suzanne. I think it's already like a common workflow. I think in many studio they use this projection mapping, and it should be part of Blender, and it's just a quick way to like a project like decal or stickers on Suzanne or something. I think, yeah, I will try this method tomorrow, maybe using geometry nodes, and let's see if we can just project random stickers into Suzanne. All right, so hopefully you find this useful. So thanks again for the add-on to Eyek by Roman. This add-on is really useful, and yeah, hopefully you can also use this add-on for your workflow. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.